In today's video, we're going over what a game studio CEO said about the PlayStation 5, actually noting that it will be a huge console. We've got a great deal on a PlayStation Plus 1-year subscription card. Ni no Kuni is getting an anime movie, and it's coming to the West, and it's coming very, very soon. And speaking of anime, one of the most iconic anime of all time will be making the transition to an open-world action RPG in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. That's coming in just under 2 weeks, and we've got a new trailer to go over at the end of this video. More on that in a little bit, but first of all, I think you guys will be very interested in what Daedalic CEO said about the PlayStation 5. If you guys don't know, Daedalic is a German studio best known as a developer for Deponia and Blackguards, and they recently snatched a multi-game deal with Tolkien Estate to make games based on the Lord of the Rings novels, the first of which will be focused on Gollum. In a featured article published on the latest Edge magazine, that's February 2020, issue 341, Daedalic revealed a lot of details on the Gollum game. They also shared brief comments on the big topic of the industry, Microsoft and Sony's next generation console, of course the PlayStation 5 and next Xbox Series X. Daedalic CEO Karsten Fichelman said this, quote, "I think Microsoft is doing some things better than they did in the past, and the PlayStation 5 will be huge." Daedalic game designer Martin Wilkes went a little more in-depth with his comment, explaining how the specs of the Xbox Series X console will positively influence level design, for instance. Noting, quote, "I've only heard rumors about the Xbox Series X specs, and it's huge. Very fast flash memory, which excites me, of course, but I don't think that's relevant to this project because we're aiming for PC as well. Especially for level designers, though, that's dream come true. Because we don't have to concern ourselves with streaming corridors anymore, I think that's sometimes really painful to squeeze down these otherwise beautiful, stunning environments because we need another corridor here." The CEO of Daedalic, Karsten Fichelman, seems to echo the sentiments that Jonathan Blow actually had in noting that some of the next generation consoles excite me. The PlayStation 5 is pretty good. I don't know what it is about the Xbox Series X, but it seems like a lot of these publishers and developers are singling out the PlayStation 5 and being pretty good or huge. I ultimately think the Xbox Series X is going to be a great platform. I think Phil Spencer has done a great job with Xbox One, given that it was left in a pile of S in the beginning of the generation, and Phil Spencer really had to do a lot of work in reconstructing the brand, redoing the image of the brand. After, again, it was left in a little bit of a train wreck, I think he did a great job in the latter portion of the generation. Now, heading into the Xbox Series X, I think there's a lot of excitement surrounding the console. However, again, a lot of these developers and publishers singling out the PlayStation 5 and being huge. I think the PlayStation 5 is going to sell very, very well, but I think you'd be foolish into thinking that the Xbox Series X isn't going to be a legitimate competitor, because this time around, Microsoft is really ironing out their major issue this generation, and that is the fact that their first-party offerings were mostly garbage outside of Halo and Gears and a couple of other games, but comparatively speaking to the PlayStation 4, their first-party offerings were nowhere near as good. Now they've acquired some major studios. They've got Ninja Theory, they've got Obsidian, they've got Playground working on an open-world RPG, maybe a Fable 4. They have Halo Infinite in development. They've still got Coalition. They've got a lot of high-quality studios under their umbrella, and it's going to be a real competition next generation, and that's good for everyone involved. Competition breeds excellence, and that's what we want out of Sony. We don't want Sony to get a little bit complacent, because what complacency does, it's going to offer Sony opportunities to add barriers to things like crossplay to ultimately increase their monopoly in the industry. They by no means have a monopoly, but that would just increase their lion's share of the industry, and you don't want that at all. You want a lot of different competitors, and you want a direct competitor to the PlayStation 5, and I want the Xbox Series X to really offer something like that. I don't want it to be like this generation, where it was really just a one-sided stomp. The Xbox One ultimately ended up doing pretty well by the end, but comparatively speaking to the PS4's numbers, it was night and day, and the PlayStation 4 was way ahead, so hopefully that'll change next generation. However, Karsten Fichelman, Daedalic CEO, is noting that the PlayStation 5 will be huge, and Xbox is doing things better than last generation. Alright, moving on from that, if you guys are looking to re-up your PlayStation Plus 12-month subscription, you'll want to head on over to greenmangaming.com right now, as they've got a code 29% off for $42.74. This is one of the better deals that I've seen on PlayStation Plus, and it seems like that the deals for PS Plus, especially a 12-month subscription, have been a little bit sparse over the last year. They're not going down to $35 to $40 anymore. $42.74 is one of the best prices that I've seen, and what does that work out to? Around $3 and change a month for PlayStation Plus, which is pretty good, given that if you look at the game offerings that have been given over the course of the last year, if you're paying $3 and change for them a month, that isn't all too bad. Given that we've gotten games like Neo, given that we've gotten games like Detroit Become Human Deluxe Edition, Borderlands Handsome Collection, Sonic Mania, Witness, there have been quite a few high-quality offerings, and when you're paying as low as $3 and change a month, it's definitely a lot more advantageous than paying, say, $9.99 a month, which God forbid any of you guys do that. I should also note that directly through the US PlayStation Store, you can get the 12-month subscription for $45, so if you want to bypass Green Man Gaming, who do have a really good track record, but whatever the case may be, if you just want to get it off the PlayStation Store, $45 for that, which is pretty good, all things considered. I hear a lot of you guys complaining about the Plus offerings recently, especially the month of January, which was left with a lot of people having a sour taste in their mouth. So hey, if you're getting PlayStation Plus a little bit cheaper, it does make it a little bit less of a sting. So again, that's available at Green Man Gaming, $42.74 for that, and then you can get it directly on the PlayStation Store for $45. Alright, moving on from that, Ni no Kuni just had its remastered version of the first game released on the PlayStation 4 back in September. Of course, early in 2018, we had Ni no Kuni 2, and Ni no Kuni has been a pretty good franchise in terms of offering high-quality games. I've really enjoyed the titles, and one of the standout components of the game has been the animation quality, the visuals. It's stunning in terms of animation, a lot of resemblance to Studio Ghibli, who had a hand in the first game, and the second game really utilizes that art style as well. However, you might not know that there's actually a Ni no Kuni animated movie that premiered in Japan back in August of 2019, and now it'll be making its international debut on Netflix. And when is it coming? Well, very soon, on January 16th. Here's an overview of the film directly from Netflix. Quote, two average teens go on a magical quest to save the life of their friend and her counterpart from another world, but love complicates their journey. Studio Ghibli animator Yoshiyuki Momose, who worked on Spirited Away, directs this enchanting film based on the renowned video game. Ni no Kuni, I think, is a tremendous franchise, and Ni no Kuni 2 was great, Ni no Kuni Remastered was great. Hopefully, they've got Ni no Kuni 3 working on in the background at level 5. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but given that all of the games have done relatively well, they've remastered the first game, it seems like there's more interest in the franchise than ever before, and who knows, with a Netflix animated movie coming, we've seen how Netflix impacts video game franchise. I mean, the Witcher Netflix series took The Witcher 3 to another level. The concurrent player base for that right now is insane. I don't think the Ni no Kuni anime movie is going to necessarily have the same effect, but if it is a high quality game, it does open up the audience for the Ni no Kuni IP in general. Again, it's not going to have the same ramifications as the Witcher Netflix series, do not even get it twisted like that, but I'm just saying it could offer more acknowledgement of the series and more people will be aware of the franchise, especially if the animated movie turns out to be a really good movie, and it's dropping on Netflix on January 16th. Alright, lastly, I do want to give you guys a heads up that ahead of its January 17th release, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot has gotten a brand new trailer, and it's the This Time on Dragon Ball Z trailer. It's actually a pretty fantastic trailer where they've got the original narrator for the Dragon Ball Z show doing the narration for it, and that's always a little bit nostalgic for me. I think with all the Dragon Ball Z games, especially with one that is single player focused, it's always gonna prey on a little bit of nostalgia, and I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. Nostalgia is only gonna get you so far, however, that'll get people interested in the game. You ultimately have to offer a quality product as well, and so far what I'm seeing out of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, there are elements that I definitely like. I like that they're introducing a lot of side quests, a lot of content to flesh out specific characters. Some of the gameplay has looked a little bit iffy to me. I think it could get a little bit repetitive, but they've definitely put a lot of work in terms of the production of the game. The visuals look fantastic for the, for the sake of a Dragon Ball Z game, which necessarily haven't been, visual masterclass, and it is being done by CyberConnect 2. They've always done good work, whether it be on the Dot Hack games, whether it be on Naruto Storm, and that does give me some optimism that they're working on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I think that bodes very, very well for this game, and given the fact that it is going from the beginning of the Dragon Ball Z franchise all the way until the end, so you're going right from the Saiyan Saga all the way to the end of the Buu arc, there's going to be a sizable amount of content in this game. One would at least have to expect. There's going to be a lot of different locales, you would think, and I do think there's a lot of potential in that sense. We'll see how the game turns out on January 17th. I'm crossing my fingers and hoping for the best. I do think that this is one game that you do wait and see how the reviews turn out, see how the consumer reception is, and then make your decision thereon if you do want to buy the game, because $59.99, that is a steep asking price for a DBZ game. I mean, that's the usual price, but DBZ games are usually a little bit of a mixed mixed bag. They've been more so good than bad recently. DB Fighters was awesome. Xenoverse has been pretty good. But this is something entirely new, and there has to be a little bit of an air of skepticism, but at the same time, a cautious level of optimism as well. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, Daedalic CEO is saying that PlayStation 5 will be huge, and Microsoft is doing some things better than they've done in the past. PlayStation Plus 1-year code is $42.74. Great deal on that. Ni no Kuni is getting an animated movie coming to Netflix on January 16th, and DBZ Kakarot has gotten a brand new trailer. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.